Well, the semifinals for the high school the football playoffs are upon us this week, and the winners will book trips to the Georgia Dome for state championship games. Sports Shorts' Brendan Cosgroves has the latest on the area's teams still alive in the playoffs.
Friday for Rockdale County is going to be control Marte Maddox. He's really elusive out of the backfield. He can beat you with his arm or his legs, but then again, they have Rockdale County has two linebackers that can run a 4.6 40, Rashawn Benz and Devin Washington, and they're going to be making it pretty tough on Marte Maddox to get out of the pocket like he likes to do. And then the key for Clark Central, as it has been all season, is just to work on the turnovers and stupid mistakes. They get so many penalties and they get turnovers, and the turnovers they don't really seem to like getting them in the middle of the field. They really like to turn the ball over as in the worst possible scenario when they're pinned down deep or when they're about to score. So they really need to keep those mental mistakes in check. So that game could be a very different game that we saw at Death Valley like it was in homecoming. But this Clark Central team is very motivated. They believe that they can win the state championship all year long. And they're really, Coach Riles has them pretty riled up. And then if you head over to Gainesville, to City Park, they're taking on Flowery Branch. And Flowery Branch lost to Gainesville, but that was only about 5 weeks ago in the last game of the regular season. Gainesville and Blake Sims and Tyler Jones are just unstoppable. Flowery Branch is really going to have to stop them on defense, or the key to beating Gainesville is going to be just to keep matching them. If you turn the ball over, if you get a 3 and out, Gainesville's going to beat you every time. Your defense needs to step up a couple times, and your offense needs to score every time they're on the field. Connor Shaw and Amani Cross, the young running back. But it's going to come down to it, and I think Flowery Branch has a good shot, even though they got killed by Gainesville about a month ago. They're pretty big gamers. They beat LaGrange on the road last year. They beat Carver Columbus on the road this year. So there's going to be a couple good games coming up in North Georgia this weekend. Thomas?
Now, Brendan, these teams are in the same region, Clark and Rockdale. Obviously, Rockdale beat them 31-28 in overtime for homecoming. What has Clark got to do to compete with Rockdale?
Yeah. Well, yeah, Isaiah Grisham's going to be another one to watch for Rockdale County. He projects as an athlete into the college level, but at quarterback he's really elusive. He could throw the ball. He's just like Marte Maddox, so Clark Central's going to have a tough time controlling him too. They got those tough defensive linemen, Terrence Bradshaw and Ryan Faust, that could make a difference, but their cornerbacks are a little undersized, and so they're really going to have to step things up if they want to compete with Rockdale County. Neither of these teams are the same as we saw back in early October when they last played.
Thank you, Brendan. I appreciate it. Now, Caleb, we are talking about great football seasons. You know, you have the Falcons are kind of stumbling, so is Georgia. In your opinion, across the nation, any sport, who has had the best football season?
You know, part of me wants to go with the Florida Gators, but I think I'm going to go with the New Orleans Saints just for the fact that the Gators, while they are undefeated and they're going into a big game this weekend for the SEC Championship, they've struggled a little bit offensively at times. Defensively, they're playing lights out. But offensively, they have struggled at times and had a couple of games where they could have been beaten. The Saints have really been untested. I mean, and when I say untested, they've just really dominated all their opponents, and they have a very good shot. I think at this point, being an 11-0, I think they have a very good shot with the schedule that they have to remain undefeated into the postseason.
Well, can't miss on that one. I have to go Clark Central. First time if they win this week, first time they make the state playoffs since the 80s. I mean, come on. Give it to Marte Maddox and the Gladiators over at Clark Central. So
we got a plate full of NBA and college basketball coming up right after the break.